Welcome to the Grand Fleet Podcast. We are going to be counting down to chapter 1000 of the One Piece manga. As we near closer and closer to that epic moment, we're going to be discussing some of our favorite things from the series in descending order. Today, we're at the number 10.
Today we're going to talk about the 10 Straw Hats. Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Chopper, Robin, Franky, Brook, and Jinbe. Right, that's 10, right?
So anime spoilers. Right. Jinbe's on the crew now, guys.
Yeah, anime onlys. You're just going to have to... Yeah, whoops.
Yeah, there'll be many spoilers for that. Because the Straw Hats are doing some crazy stuff right now. In the manga, they are just awesome.
Oh, and I guess since this is going to be our first video, since the original start to the countdown, number 11, kind of fell apart, did you want to introduce...
Oh, yeah, we had a first episode, in part 11. It is currently lost media. It basically, my recording, it kind of corrupted, and not the entire audio from my side is not available. So that's that, I guess. Anyways, I guess we can start with, our favorite Straw Hat. Or, no. We'll just start with the first Straw Hat. We'll just start with, Luffy. I think he's probably... He might actually be... my favorite. It's between him and Usopp. Between Luffy and Usopp. But yeah. He's the guy that started it all, so yeah. We all know everything about Luffy at this point. I don't think there's any new information necessarily that I think is going to be revealed or anything left that we have to know.
That's
what do you guys think?
That's definitely not true.
What do you mean?
Now, I want to say that because we have had things revealed to us throughout the series about Luffy that we wouldn't have even thought to question.
Okay.
Who's his grandpa?
Yeah, that's true.
But one thing that's really always caught me was when he was little. He was talking to Ace and Sabo, and they're like, yeah, we're going to become pirates. We're going to be free. We're going to sail. And Luffy's like, well, you know what then? In that case, I'm going to be... blank.
Yeah.
Oda never told us what he said there. Now, this is after he met Shanks, so he was already determined to be a pirate who would match Shanks, because that was his promise.
You're right.
He already had the straw hat, but he did not say, I want to be king of the pirates there.
Yeah.
And we know that for a couple reasons.
Because, when I first read it, I just assumed, and I never really thought, I never really had any second thoughts about it. I just assumed he probably said, I want to be king of the pirates, and then, he just Oda just kind of skipped the panel or whatever just because I don't know because he's just I don't know. I guess Oda just skipped the panel because we already know what he's gonna say. It's just I don't know, some kind of cheeky moment. I don't know. I never thought twice about that specific scene. But yeah, what do you have to say?
Yeah, well, he used that beautifully with the part when Roger was sitting with Whitebeard and Odin. He literally used that very beautifully. I am gonna become, and then skipping that part. That was just cool. And well, there were many theories going on that he would say something bizarre. But well, that was Oda just being like, oh, I remember everything. You may forget, but well, this is my story. And I am not gonna forget anything.
Well put. But yeah, that was he was clearly paralleling those two events. Yeah. And I think that's super interesting because remember, Raleigh decided to team up with Luffy because Shanks told him. Luffy said something that reminded me of Roger, and I'm willing to bet that was the thing.
Maybe.
Whatever it was that Luffy and Roger said they're cut off was the thing that Shanks and Raleigh thought, you know what? This is the successor to Roger. Okay. I know it now.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting.
The enthusiasm the both of them showed, saying that I am going to be the Pirate King or whatever, that just clicked off with Shanks.
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't I'm going to be the Pirate King because shortly after Roger makes it, I mean, not canonically shortly after, but shortly after in the stream of time where we're reading, in the actual manga, obviously it was much, they had already done a lot of sailing and stuff, but Roger sees them announce that he's Pirate King, and he's like, oh, that has a good ring to it. I like that.
Yeah,
they got my name wrong, but I like that I'm Pirate King.
That's not Pirate King. That's different. I mean, it could be anything. It would just I want to be the most freest man in the world or anything like that. I want to sail the seas freely without anyone stopping me or hurting me, something like that. It could be anything, but it was something well that just clicked with Shanks.
Yeah, I can't for the life of me fathom what it could be. But it's definitely always been after Where is the All Blue?
Yeah.
It is my second most favorite mystery of One Piece.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's something like which will among the Straw Hats. It's something like we have no clue how that's gonna go down.
Yeah.
All the other things we have a little clue that we have clear idea what Zoro is going to do. We have clear idea what Robin is going to do, but All Blue is very ambiguous at this point.
Yeah.
And personally, I think that's what's made Luffy... I mean, there's a lot of good things about Oda's writing, but one of the things that has made Luffy such an enduring character is the fact that we have not yet stopped having things that are intriguing about him.
Mm-hmm.
He has not stopped being a, oh snap, that's new kind of character.
Yeah.
His worldview is just it keeps growing.
Like,
everything he witnesses is like new to him, and he just loves every part of that.
In some way, like he's sort of he somehow fits the whole story, the whole world, like so well, you know. Like something about him makes Luffy the perfect protagonist for One Piece specifically, you know. Like in Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think somehow Aang like kind of fits that same role as being the perfect protagonist. But you know, Aang and Luffy, they're very different characters. But somehow, like I think when you have something like that in a story, you've got a character who somehow just everything just clicks perfectly for that main character to be the main character, and it's not like everything is handed to him either. It's just like somehow he captures the spirit of the entire show or the entire series, the entire message.
Yeah, the world building aspect just fits with that.
Yeah.
He's changing the world around him, and that's how the story of One Piece is. How you affect the world.
Right.
The fact that he has a fairly flat character arc makes it even more incredible that Oda's managed to make him exciting. Like, he doesn't have this, you know, big arc where, I've become a better person out of this. He has grown as a person. He has more mature ideals. He has more mature world outlook. I mean, very slightly more mature, but more mature than at the beginning of the series. Doesn't rush into things as headlong or foolishly, and he thinks about other people more, and you know, little tiny changes have happened.
Yeah, there is growth obviously, and it's especially shown in Wano, I guess, during the part when they were in that Udon prison, and Luffy uses Conqueror's Haki to faint all the guards around him. Then he talked with Caribou and all. So that was the moment which I think fitted the character of Luffy well. He's grown.
Yeah.
I think we saw a lot of that in Whole Cake too.
I think
that's some growth, actually. That's growth. If nothing else.
I think maybe just one scene in particular that I like. I'm not sure it might not necessarily be like a sign of growth, but like the scene where in Amazon Lily, where Luffy, he decides to basically he's trying to save those two girls that found him, or that girl that found him in the forest, and like he instead of like
and give up on going back to Sabodi.
Right. And like he happily just bows down and like and like you can see like with this big smile on his face, he bows down and happily surrenders, you know, his opportunity to go back.
Yeah, he was like, this is I need to protect them first, and I'll see what I can do about going back to 70 at a later point.
Right.
It was something like that for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, I don't know. Luffy is just a character who never ceases to amaze, you know? And that's what's great about him.
And I think it was actually interesting. I think one of his weakest character moments was actually when Vivi helped him grow back in Drum Island.
Oh, yeah.
I think about that sometimes, when she just is like, no, you bow to these people. You know, you're the captain. You have to protect your crew first. And Luffy hadn't considered that. And it was just, I think from that point on, Luffy did think slightly differently.
Right. Definitely. Somewhat similarly, I think Crocodile may have also kind of, like his fights with Crocodile kind of also helped him sort of think a little bit more strategically, like in fights. Because well, Crocodile, like he was. I can't really think of what exactly Crocodile said. The 4Kids dub line is more. It's a little bit more memorable. Yeah, it's a little bit more memorable. He said, "You're using your text like you're ordering fast food," and something about that I think something about that kind of stuck with Luffy. Like that the idea of like how he has to plan like what his moves are.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh. And just the fact that he especially since the time skip, like he hasn't really, he kind of holds back sometimes. Like he doesn't always go all out, I think back then in those early days he really did a lot. But since then he kind of does show restraint.
At that time he did not have much of a choice. The opponents were that strong.
Right.
At that point in the story, he always had to do something to power up to go beyond his opponent's strength, defeat them.
Yeah.
But now he's much more stronger, so he can hold back, and he can just use the minimum amount of strength to take out the opponents he is facing right now.
That is true.
And I think we saw a little bit of that strategy, like I mentioned, in Whole Cake Island. Because in Dressrosa, he said, "I'm not running away from anybody now." He just went in like, "I'm going to fight Fujitora."
Right.
But it was interesting. In Whole Cake Island, he ran from Big Mom and her crew up until when his crew was safe. He just turned around and fought Katakuri.
Yeah.
No hesitation. And it was an interesting combination of the things he's learned.
Yeah.
One, that he has to fight. And then 2, he has to protect his crew.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, okay, Sanji, Nami, Chopper, they're all on the ship now. They're okay. And Brook. I don't want to forget about Brook.
Right. MVP. Yeah, no question. We'll get to that later, though.
And then as soon as they were safe, he smashes the mirror and turns around and says, "I'm not running anymore. I'm fighting Katakuri."
Right.
All right. So before we move on, we should bring up why the number 10 specifically fits the Straw Hat so well. Because a lot of the other numbers we're going to do. 11 Supernovas, which we missed, unfortunately.
Right.
9 Scabbards. 7 Warlords. They're all right there in the name. But the Straw Hats, there's just happens to be 10 of them. But not necessarily. Because going back to remind the viewers, we did have Luffy say 10. That was the number he said.
Yeah, I think 10 men should do.
I should gather a crew and 10 should be good. He said something like that. He had made up his mind.
So obviously, after we talk about the Straw Hat crew, we're going to have to move on to who's going to be number 10.
I guess,
10th
10th
and beyond.
member. Yeah, 10th, or 10th, besides.
Yeah, because he said, I want 10, not I'm going to make a crew of 10. I mean, obviously, he's not thinking that hard about it, but he wants at least 10. So it was not like, about 10, okay, I've got 9 now, 10 including me, that's fine. I want at least 10. I'm going to need at least 10 if I'm going to take on the world and prove myself to Shanks. I don't know why he settled on that number, but...
Well, it may be like Vivi. Oda has already said that Vivi is a member of the crew. So, it may turn out to be that all along. That, Vivi is the one. Oda has already stated that. But, we always love Carrot First Straw Hat. We all have.
On the official One Piece YouTube channel, there's a banner drawn by Oda, and it had Jinbe before he joined and Vivi on there. Yeah, I think that's interesting. I think that could be the final lineup. I think I honestly didn't get to finish that one video. I didn't get to finish that one Randy's video about
about Vivi.
About Vivi rejoining. Yeah, I didn't get to finish that one. But yeah, I am on that train of thought. There are people who say Mr. Morge. He says that like Smoker, Carrot, and what other person? Smoker, Carrot, and Momo could be like the last 3 people.
I'm gonna have to check his video on that because I don't see any way for Momo to join right now.
Yeah, it'd be like Odin was on Roger's crew and now his son Momo is on Luffy's crew. Well, that does not fit the theme. I'm not on board with that.
It feels a little. It honestly does. It does feel.
It would be a nice parallel, but
we already have Usopp and Yasop.
Yeah.
With Shanks and Luffy, so I don't know. It does not fit like that.
We'll get to that later. You guys want to move on to Zoro?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
The most badass
I have something about Zoro I want to share. Go ahead and talk. I have to find it real quick.
Okay. Zoro. I don't know. Like, so everybody is saying that Wano was supposed to be Zoro's arc, but like, honestly, he hasn't really done too much, for an arc that's supposed to be about him. He got lost. He hung out with what's his name for a little while. hung out with Yasu for a little while. When Yasu died, like that was kind of like I guess you could say that was kind of like that did kind of affect Zoro, but like not nearly as much as that would have affected Toko or like any of the other members of Ebisu Town. Yeah, and Zoro got his new sword, Enma, but we have yet to see him actually do very much with that sword. Anyway, like we're pretty far into Wano for like the arc to be all about him and him not doing anything. You know, like it's not that. I wouldn't even mind. Like Zoro's not really my favorite. And I think Zoro is kind of overrated, but I really wouldn't mind if we had an arc about him. But it honestly doesn't seem too much like it's going to revolve too much around him, you know, because he hasn't really done much. Anyways.
From what I see, I guess we still have a lot of things to see from Zoro himself. I think Wano will definitely be his arc. I am still on board with that fact. Well, he has to do a lot of stuff in this arc. He has to fight many opponents and show off his true potential. I think it will be his arc. I am waiting for the future chapters and thinking of what Zoro will do.
So yeah, what do you think he's gonna do this arc? Like who is he gonna like? How many? Why does he have so many opponents this arc?
Well, King is obviously one contender, being the right hand man for Kaido, and well, Kaido is also another one. Now that he has Enma, so these two are. I think he will definitely have a little fight with both of them. I think.
Kaido?
Even if it's not an all out 1v1. But
yeah, I can see like a little bit of a scuffle between Kaido and Zoro. Maybe I don't.
I think it's important because they have all during Dressrosa. Zoro was set to fight Fujitora after Luffy had a little scuffle with Fujitora. He was said that next is my turn, and he was not present in Whole Cake Island. So he could not get his hands for fighting Big Mom or any other commander. So I think he will fight. He will fight Kaido. He has to test potential. Something like, remember when Mihawk took his first step towards fighting Whitebeard. I mean, he released that slash. He was like, I want to see the difference between him and me.
That was a great moment.
Could be something like that. Yeah. I want to see how far Kaido is or something like that.
So yeah, you don't think it's going to be a cool moment. Yeah, so you don't think it's going to be like the final fight?
For sure, no.
But yeah,
no way.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'm on board with that. I can get on board with that.
Because we're not going to have one of Luffy's crew take down a Yonko before Luffy does.
Right. That's just
that
leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Zoro would be like, I'll decapitate Kaido myself. Like he did with that Red Dragon during Punk Hazard.
Yeah,
it's not gonna
I was just thinking that.
Luffy, Usopp get me and plant, I can jump off to where Kaido's headed towards that level and then I'll decapitate him. It's nothing like that. But well, we will see a little scuffle with them.
We might get to see a team up like against Oars, with several of the Straw Hat crews all going all out on Kaido. And I'm sure we're going to see Zoro land a blow against Kaido.
At least a few.
Yeah.
I could get
giving
on board
him Enma has more or less confirmed that. Giving him Enma, it has more or less confirmed that he will have a little scuffle with Kaido. He will at least land a blow on him.
Yeah, he's got like honestly,
get his own scar on the
I can see that
on the notching the champion's notch board.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see that. That would actually be pretty cool. I actually really like that idea. Like the idea of like a character, like he has different scars and like they're all from like, people who are strong enough to go up against him, that would be kind of fun. But yeah.
So here's a question. How many times has Zoro had his sword stolen, lost, things like that in the series?
Okay, let me think about
last time I went through.
With Mihawk.
Yeah, he lost two of them with Mihawk.
Rust fruit user. Rust fruit
user
during that part.
The Rust dude. And then...
It's a lot.
Yeah. We got his sword stolen in Dressrosa, too.
Dressrosa also, well... It has been stolen quite a few times.
And then, not Enma. Shusui got stolen in Wano. Do we even know where it is? Like, is there any way to get it back?
He traded it in.
Yeah.
He traded it after he got it. I think he got it back from, oh, dang, I'm going to forget his name. The Fox.
Okay.
The man Fox guy who, I want to know his story. What's up? Like, we know his story, but why is he able to turn into a person?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We never got that.
Yeah.
But He got it back, and then they were like, "No, please give it to us. We'll give you this Kaido killing one."
The Kaido killing. Yeah, except it didn't kill Kaido.
So yeah, 10 times Zoro has had his sword stolen or destroyed on 10 occasions.
Can you list them?
Siam from Kuro's crew stole them.
Okay.
Mihawk cut them.
Right.
Robin.
Oh yeah, she
disarmed him.
Yeah, she disarmed him.
In Water 7, he lost them when he got sent flying.
Oh right. And yeah, he could like sense it or something, right?
Chopper found him and then gave him back to him. Obviously, like you said, Shu, the guy from Eni's lobby, rusted and destroyed one. Absalom disarmed him once.
Okay.
Perona took them from him when she was taking care of him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Hody took them when he captured him.
Mm-hmm.
They were stolen in Dressrosa, and finally in
Wano. I think Shusui.
This guy's got to hold on to his swords better.
Right.
Afro Samurai would be very disappointed in Zoro.
Or maybe it's like a parallel, like his swords are becoming like him because they keep getting lost.
No, that's snap.
Yeah,
that might be even funnier.
That's funny. That was good.
But yeah, I think Shusui was probably my favorite, like the best sword design out of all of them. I kind of wish he would get it back, but it's okay, I guess. It's okay.
I'm kind of hoping for Enma to be also like a cool blade.
Yeah.
Let's see in anime what that looks like.
Oh, I was gonna say I feel bad for poor Ippon Matsu, the guy who gave him his swords back in Log Town.
Yeah.
those are the two swords he doesn't use anymore.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's like, your sword got destroyed in the other way.
It would be funny if he still thought that, like, he uses those swords, and like he keeps telling everybody that Zoro uses those swords he sold him, but it's not actually true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's talk about the Shimotsuki connection, Zoro and So,
because we don't know anything about the Roronoa's family.
we don't know anything.
We know nothing about them.
And like Roronoa, it doesn't have any Japanese meaning. I'm pretty sure like his name comes from a French. I want to say French.
Loloquois.
Yeah. Lolonois.
I don't speak French.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, we know it's obviously his teacher was descended from the guy who left.
Yeah.
Initially,
that's pretty much confirmed. Like he was the descendant from that man.
And if they lived in the area, there's a good chance his family was from Wano. I think people are, giving it a little too much of a, this is going to be an epic connection when it's going to just probably be a cool side connection.
Yeah.
More than anything.
That's mostly all the other, community in the community also. That's mostly all everyone's hoping for. No one's like that he should have a secret connection like Sanji has one.
Yeah.
No one's like rehashing the same stuff. So, well, let's see how Oda has planned out stuff for him.
Yeah, I honestly really hope that he doesn't have some like ancient secret bloodline.
Yeah.
This isn't Naruto.
I don't think he's related to the Shimotsuki. Well, I don't think he might. I think it makes sense if he's not related.
Especially because, that was his little girlfriend. I hope he's not related to her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess romance wasn't necessarily implied, but, yeah.
There was tension there, If they were any older, this would have gone in a very different direction.
Probably.
For sure.
I mean, yeah. Maybe. If Zoro was more like Sanji, it probably would have gone in a different direction.
Zoro was pretty asexual, honestly.
Yeah. Like, people want to say, like, he probably got around a little bit during his bounty hunting days before he found Luffy. But, like, yeah, I don't think so. I think, anyway.
Speaking of which, do we want to ship Zoro with anyone? Because I think of all the characters, Zoro has the most possible ships.
If anyone, maybe Tashigi, maybe. They haven't had very much interaction, like, at all, which is kind of surprising when you think about it. But
I've always shipped them most out of anybody. Yeah. Zoro and Tashigi.
Like, people say Nami. I don't like that idea.
No, me neither. They don't like Zoro has almost an antagonistic relationship
with Nami,
with the girls on the crew almost.
Yeah.
Less so Robin than he did initially.
Yeah.
I think him and Robin are a little more cool now, but especially like him and Nami.
Yeah. It's
borderline him and Sanji, honestly.
Yeah, I would like that just because I know it would make the Zoro fans mad. I think it would be kind of breaking Sanji's character, like he just loves the ladies and that's it,
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
it'd be kind of out of character.
Well, Sanji kind of has a canon ship now, you know.
Yeah, him and Pudding.
Sanji and Pudding. I mean, who else is he going to end up with?
He
you know?
almost got married to her, you know, you could say. And he's the one, like, I don't know, it seemed like a genuine, like he had a genuine sort of love for her, not like the big cartoony hard eyes, bleeding nose sort of, like, you know, like he actually seemed to, like, low-key, he might have been trying to, like, love her for real, you know?
Yeah.
If that dynamic ever gets revisited, I'd very much be on board for it, you know?
Yeah. And obviously Usopp has a canon ship too. We all know he's going to go back to Kaya one day.
Yeah, he's going to go back to Kaya one day.
And then,
you know, the greatest adventure
leave her to sail on the seas with a child. And then leave her with a child to sail the seas. But yeah. So, all right. Anything else about Zoro? I'm sure there's got to be more about Zoro.
So have you guys read the Monsters one shot?
Yes.
One thing that's interesting, it could just be the fact that Zoro is just like a recycled design, but like, you know, he does have quite the resemblance to early Zoro, you know.
True.
That's the main thing that's kind of leading people to believe that like he could be related to like the Shimotsuki clan, right?
I love how Oda made that canon, that story.
Yeah, that's really cool. One thing that's also to note is that like he did not have like that didn't look like Shusui, you know. So it probably wasn't, you know. I don't know if it's sort of if it's like going to be retconned to be Shusui, that the sword that he had, but or maybe he slayed another dragon using Shusui. Was it ever said that Shusui was the sword that he used to slay the dragon?
Oh, I should know this, but I don't know.
Oh well, Zuma has been using Shusui, and so it's pretty much said that it was Shusui only.
But we also were told that he turned Shusui black.
Right.
Like that wasn't its original color.
And maybe he just got another scabbard. A scabbard. Yeah, he just got another scabbard.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the hilt looks a little bit different. So, like, he could have just gotten it modified over the years of him using it. I like that idea. Yeah, it doesn't. It just straight doesn't look like that sword. Do you guys think we're going to get a Ryuma flashback in this arc? Do you think there's enough room in this arc?
I think there's hundreds of things that we should be getting.
I don't think it's gonna be a complete flashback like Oden had one. Not even half that long. But I think one chapter or two chapters where they talk about Ryuma after the battle of this. I don't think Oda is gonna fit anything more during this battle. It's just gonna be an all-out war at this point. But well, after battle, it may be something like Zoro might visit the grave of Grave, and at that point we may have a little backstory.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's possible for just there's not a lot point to it because obviously Oda's leaving out a lot of stuff. Like we didn't one of the most frustrating things about this arc is Law's crew's doing all this weird stuff that we don't get to see because there's just not enough time.
Right.
So it's possible that Oda will include this, but he might drop it for time.
That would suck.
But I think we'll get one because Oda is dropping a lot of little hints about the past of Wano, the sacred tree. The island's old name that's a mystery. A lot of these things about what Wano used to be in the distant past that I almost feel like he's building us up to be excited about these things when maybe we get like a Kalgara Nolan style couple chapters at the end of Wano.
Yeah, a couple chapters at the end. That would make sense. Like, and how it all ties together. Because that's definitely, Oda's definitely telling us there's definitely a connection between the Shimotsukis and Zoro somehow. I think.
Yeah. There's definitely
it might not even be like a direct connection, you know. It might not be as direct as some people might be thinking, but like I do think there is some sort of connection that Oda is trying to say. But yeah, anything else about Zoro?
Zoro or Sanji, guys? Who's your favorite?
Sanji is my favorite. We can get to that in a little. I kind of want to go in order of who joined. So next would.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, for the sake of that question, needs to be addressed at some point.
Oh, yeah.
How about you, 1-1?
Out of the two, well, it's obviously Zoro.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoro has the most fights. He has the most, he has the most fights. I think he struggles the least in fights. Honestly, I would go and argue. I would dare to say that One Piece isn't even a battle manga. It's more of an event. It's more geared towards the adventure aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's true. Well, that's true. if you do that well.
Yeah, I think it's geared more towards the adventure of it, the adventure aspect, and I think also people even say that the fights in One Piece aren't even that good compared to actual battle shonen. And to be honest,
Yeah,
Katakuri versus Luffy would like to have a little talk with you about
there's definitely good ones.
that part was too good. That was too
Yeah,
good.
but there's a reason why Oda skips half of them.
yeah,
If it's a side character that's doing a battle, he's just gonna be like, "Well, I'm just not gonna show you that."
well, yeah, that's him
Too
recently.
bad. This isn't bad.
That's him recently, but I think he did have some side characters fight. Like in Skypiea, he had a lot of characters who didn't matter. They got fights. Wiper is one big one.
In fact, you got to see how all but one of the people fell. Like how in Naruto's game, if you go back and read it carefully and count down every person, only one of them's off screen, and it's addressed how they were defeated. But it was done off screen. I think it was Ohm took them out off screen, but everyone else you actually see them fall. And I thought that was really crazy that Oda decided to every single member of the God's Army, every single member of the Shandians, you get to see how they lost the fight.
Right. That's interesting. I think it might be a hot take. I think it might be a little bit of a hot take that that One Piece is not even a battle shonen. I kind of want to make a video.
It's a hot take. I agree with.
I kind of wanted to make a video about it. I was going to make a whole video talking about addressing the people who haven't watched One Piece and just telling them that they don't deserve it. And, it would sort of be some kind of reverse psychology to get them to watch it.
Whatever works. Whatever gets
whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, right. But yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Can we move on to Nami? We ready to move on to Nami?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'm ready.
Nami is the character I liked, like the first character I actively disliked when she first appeared, I mean, like she would I was like, she's just a hoe. Like I didn't like her when she first appeared, right? She's just a hoe, right? And I think that's the craziest. I think that was her whole almost sort of dramatic transformation, so to speak, in Arlong Park. That was the part that you're either on board in One Piece or you're not. By the time you get to Arlong Park, that's the part where you're where you either go from liking to loving it, or you just you start to get into it. You realize that this is not just some.
Yeah, but that's exactly my point. Because when I started watching One Piece, my friend was like, well, it gets good at about 150 to 100 chapters. Mainly, he wanted to saw Water 7 arc. But during Arlong Park, I was full on board.
Right.
Well, I am watching this through and through.
Right.
I have not stopped
because
series. Arlong Park was that.
Yeah, I first was introduced to the series when 4Kids was airing.
Ooh.
Syrup Village.
Ooh.
And I was like, what is this garbage? What is this? This looks dumb. But then the first episode I sat down and watched the whole thing through was Zoro versus Mihawk. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
This is pretty cool. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to see what this is about. This is awesome.
Wait a minute. How old are you anyway?
The first time I watched it, I was watching that on repeat.
Just one question. How old are you guys anyways? And when did you guys start watching? You said you started watching during the, during what do you say? Syrup Village. But yeah, how old are you guys? If that's information you want to disclose.
I am in my late 20s.
I see.
And I am 20.
Oh, I'm 18. Wow, I'm the youngest one here. All right.
Oh,
yeah.
snap.
Anyway.
And then Potato is I should probably know this. 25? So the girl on my channel. Yeah. So and before I forget, she prefers Zoro, I prefer Sanji.
I see.
So we're split down the middle.
Interesting. Anyway, Nami, she's probably also the character that has the most sort of character development that or I guess the least character development,
Character development.
she, in one way, she has the most development. In another way, she has the least development. You know what I'm saying? She does have her moments, from time to time. There was the whole thing at Sabaody, when she met Hachi, and then Fishman Island. She got a few good moments in that
Oh yeah, for sure.
In that arc.
That was
Whole Cake Island. Like she was probably like number 3. Like as far like she landed like a really good hit on Big Mom. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was the first character.
In the latest chapters also. In the latest chapters also, she is running, stealing Zeus away from Big Mom time to time.
Right.
After Brook cut him,
Yeah.
Zeus, and Luffy showed up. When Big Mom was about to attack Luffy, Nami had already made a run with Zeus, and that's quite the running gag, I'd say.
Also, I don't know. Like, I guess the fact that she was like such a dramatic crescendo, so to speak, in East Blue, I think that kind of raised expectations for some people. You know, I think people might have been expecting some more from her, and so I think people get more disappointed from her goofy moments than from everybody else's. If that makes sense.
She plays kind of the straight man. If this was like a sitcom, she'd be the straight man to most of the jokes. She's not really as big of a part of the humor as the others are. I don't know. I think now. I mean, she's great. She's definitely grown on me. But I've always kind of had her as the Straw Hat I'm the least interested in.
I mean, her role is mostly navigation and stuff.
Oh, one thing. Nami in Japanese means wave. It's spelled differently in Japanese, but.
Oh, is it spelled differently in the Japanese?
Like,
that's interesting.
You know, her name is spelled with katakana. You know, the word wave is kanji. So, yeah.
I see. That's actually a very good thing to know. Japanese is it's very interesting language.
Yeah, it's a very interesting language. You know, at some point I'm going to get better at it, you know. I keep putting it off, but...
It's hard. It's really hard to... Yeah. Well, to speak, it's actually easier than English
pronunciation is easy,
There's not a lot of tenses you have to learn. There's not a lot of, like... It's pretty simple to speak, but mad hard to be able to read or write, which is probably what we're going to want to do if we learn it.
Right. But, yeah, I actually... I'm pretty much memorized all the katakana. But, like, that's the least practical one to memorize, because...
Yeah,
but yeah,
well, I mean, it is. I'm sure it can be helpful. Like if you're going through Japan and you see, like, oh, hey, this has something spelled out in English because they think it sounds cool, and now I know this is a place I can eat at.
What else about Nami? I think she's gonna have some very interesting. She needs like a very interesting fighting style. If Zeus is gonna be taken away from her after Wano, then she needs. I think she has probably low-key the most interesting fighting style, or the second most interesting fighting style.
Yeah, the back and forth with Zeus is... I don't know how I feel about that. I was like, oh, she's getting a big power-up with Zeus, and then it's like, nope, not anymore. Oh, wait, yeah,
Yeah.
Is she getting this or not? Stop teasing me.
Right. What do you think... So what do you think she is going to get after Wano?
Her own devil fruit.
Her own devil fruit? That's pretty bold. I don't think we've...
Oh, no. Devil fruit is, I think, too much for her. I don't think she'll have a devil fruit.
I don't think we've ever actually had a character who got a devil fruit, like, you know, who had. I don't think we have an established character who's been there for a very long time who actually got a devil fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think the most established character we've seen get a fruit is probably Kaku.
Yeah, maybe Sabo.
Because Sabo, it was like
and he
wasn't.
Like
he came into the story to get the fruit. Right, that was barely...
Essentially, yeah. So, maybe Kaku and, what's the girl's name?
Well, that's why I said Kaku, because, you know, Khalifa, no one remembers her.
Yeah, Khalifa, that's her name. Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't get a lot of time with her. She was just, you know, a running gag. You know, we didn't actually get any serious time. Like, Kaku was kind of like, hey, this is a character. He's fun. He's, you know, going to talk about the ship. He has cool powers and a nickname, and all right, now he's getting devil fruit. Cool.
Right.
But Khalifa was like, "Oh, the secretary got a fruit." Great.
That's sexual harassment. That was her thing.
But yeah, that would be cool to see a character who we've had for so long get one. Obviously, I'm not saying that. Yes, this is my theory. Mm-hmm. She will have one by the end of Wano. But all I'm saying is, now I want that because I said it.
One thing because the Suki no Mi, if I'm pronouncing it right, the Suno fruit.
Yeah.
There's only that theory that it's somewhere on Sunny.
Yeah. I think it'd require a little bit more suspension of disbelief from me if it was actually on the Sunny this entire time and nobody knew about it, you know.
Yeah,
but
I mean, especially with Usopp, because now that he's growing all his pop greens on Sunny itself, so he would at least know if there was some weird kind of devil fruit growing there.
Right, and there's a tangerine tree or an orange tree or something like that. on the Sunny as well. So like, you know, if like I think it would be kind of hard to believe that, like, because you know there's a tangerine tree or something that Nami's been tending to. You know, it kind of,
growing it.
so it'd be hard to believe that she's gone this entire time without having ever seen a weird look, like one of her tangerines looking a little bit weird. You know.
All right, here's what happens. Whoever dies in Wano, that fruit ends up on the ship. Nami eats it.
Okay. But who has a fruit?
King's fruit. I wanted to turn into a pterodon.
Yeah.
That'd be very funny. I mean, she turning into a pterodon and kicking Sanji around. That'd be too.
Kaido.
Here's the thing I know Oda would do. So Kaido, he hasn't shown his hybrid form at all yet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he only just goes like full dragon or full human or full whatever he is, right? I think something I know what Oda would do is if for whatever crazy reason Nami were to get Kaido's devil fruit, she would only use it in the hybrid form, you know, so we could see the dragon monster boobies. You know what I'm saying?
We are going on a weird tangent right now.
Yeah.
Well, it is the Nami discussion.
Yeah.
So what did you expect?
It would really set the Scaly community on fire.
Well, he already brought in the furries.
Right,
so
right,
he
exactly.
wants
So
to be all.
It would only make sense. Like it would only be the natural escalation to include some Scaly representation. You know.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't got to see that yet. So
Exactly. Anyways, if Nami were to get a devil fruit, I would like it to be like I don't know, maybe a cloud fruit or something like that. I don't know what the word cloud is in Japanese, but yeah, a cloud fruit. You know, because it sort of relates to weather, and that's like kind of her forte.
Yeah, something which could control the weather for her. It also be useful in her navigation and stuff. So that'd be cool.
Right, exactly. A wind fruit. If dragon doesn't have a wind fruit,
for right now,
the wind fruit, you know, then I can
dragon
see
has did for that.
I can see her also getting it.
I wonder if she has like a dream devil fruit, like Sanji had one.
Right.
Like he was like, well, I would never eat one because I want to be able to swim. Unless, because she's seen the world. She's been flying around the world with the old dudes.
Right.
Does she have like there's one fruit I've been hearing about that I'd eat that one.
Yeah, well, I think Oda should answer this question if the Straw Hat had an option to eat a fruit of their choice. What would they pick? It would be something that Oda could answer in an SBS. Damn, I wish someone could answer.
Yes, that is a perfect SBS question.
Right. Yeah, so if anybody knows Japanese and can ship, wouldn't mind mailing something to Oda.
Can we write it in katakana?
Let's tag some YouTubers on YouTube, Twitter, and let them do this for us.
Yeah.
They should have asked Matt Owens while he was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
He could have definitely asked us.
Maybe I should do a video on that. But anyway, have you guys seen King KZ's video about what Nami's her power up or whatever after Wano? I really like his train of thought with the clouds from like Skypiea. You got like the hardened clouds. Something like that would be cool for Nami. You're right.
Well, he's using the climate act quite efficiently right now. So, but I'm always on board of something weather controlled, which help in navigation and stuff. I'm always on board with something like that.
Yeah, I like his idea. You know. Oh, we should mention it right now. So there's this Discord. Do you want to mention it? Do you want to say it, Candle Dragon, since you made it?
Yes. So we've made a Discord called the Grand Fleet. All small YouTubers or podcasters who cover One Piece content are welcome to join. We help support each other, give each other ideas, help each other promote each other. It's great to help if you want to help your channel grow. We could probably put the Discord link in the comment.
Yeah, it's going to be in the
description.
Right.
Okay, yeah, so feel free to join. Everybody is welcome as long as you make One Piece stuff or just want to support our One Piece stuff.
Right.
Come on in.
Yeah, if you like One Piece, if you just like One Piece at all and you like to support small creators, and or if you are a small creator who likes One Piece, then yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And want to be supported.
Right. So. And like being supported. One thing I would like to ask is that actually go and have conversations with people who make their videos, because like I try to if I see a video that I liked, I try to talk to the person who made it, right? I try to say a little bit of something about it, right? I don't click on everything, to be quite honest. I don't click on everything that I see, right? and not always every time that I see it, but like I try it. Like when I see something interesting, I'm definitely gonna click on it, and I'm definitely gonna try to like talk to the person about it, right? But yeah, I think more people should do that if they can.
Yeah, well, especially after starting my own channel, I have realized that I have not subscribed to many people I watch. YouTube always recommends stuff, and also it's not like I have to wait for notifications and all. So I, after only starting my own channel, I realized that damn, I need to subscribe to these.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I realized. I was like, oh man, now I know the pain. I'm gonna start subscribing to the people I like now.
Right. Exactly. Let's move on to Usopp. If that's okay with you guys. Usopp is probably my favorite of all time, right? Ever since Alabasta, that's when I realized that Usopp was my favorite, you know. I like weak characters when they're written well, and I think Usopp is written very well. I'm thinking of making a whole video about weak characters, like the broke dude from One Punch Man who has a bike. I think like Moomin Rider, that's his name. I want to say that's his name, but anyway, yeah, Moomin Rider. He's like very weak, and he's like he doesn't have any powers, but he's probably my favorite from that first season, and he didn't show up very much in that season anyway. But yeah, Usopp is my favorite character. You've got other characters who kind of started out weak, like Deku from My Hero Academia. I have, some things to sort of say about Deku, right? And also, I don't know if you guys read Solo Leveling, but the main character of that series, he was very weak as well. But I think he was written very differently from Usopp and very differently from Moomin Rider. And I have some things to say, about those comparisons that we could make. But anyway, Usopp is my favorite. And he is the weakest, probably. One of the weakest, definitely. What do you guys think?
Well, I don't know if he's still the weakest. He might be.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least he declared that he's not the weakest anymore, according to him. But, who knows? Personally, Usopp has kind of had an interesting place as far as how much I like him throughout the series. Like,
yeah.
He's been near the bottom of the list. He's gone up near the top. He's never been my least favorite or my favorite, but he's kind of like, I was like, I don't really like him. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he's had some epic moments. Some of the most epic / funny moments were Usopp. But I've never found him as being like, top. I might be blasphemy.
Right.
But I've never found him to be my favorite Straw Hat or.
Yeah, well, he's part of that coward trio, so he does not have any moments of like, oh, I am too cool, and his most shining moment was, I guess, in Dressrosa only.
Usopp's moments, he's got like a sort of, there's a sort of subtlety to the way, or not really subtlety, but it's like the way the way Usopp pulls a win in a fight is very different from the way Zoro will pull a win, right?
Yeah, well, he has to plan stuff like Batman.
Yeah, I think probably the best Usopp parts were when he told Luffy that he wasn't going to underestimate him. Mm-hmm. And unlike the enemies he's fought so far, he might actually win.
Right.
When Baby 5 and Buffalo are fleeing and him and Nami stand back to back and are like, when enemies turn their back to us.
And they're running away.
Whenever they run away, we take them on. And I don't remember the speech they made, but it was just absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I also really liked his speech during Thriller Bark, and the fact that like the negative hollows just didn't work on him because he was already he was already negative.
Yo, yeah.
I love that.
I'm already too depressed for this.
Right.
So that was fun. He has his moments from time to time, but his most shining moment was, I'd still say, in Dressrosa only.
Right.
With when Robin was turned into that toy.
Right. Definitely.
And after taking out sugar and all.
Yeah, Usopp took a huge leap
using his sniping skills.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. He is one of the only Straw Hats who can use Haki now.
Right.
I was thinking about this last night only. And if you see the Straw Hats right now, they have mentally grown too much. I mean, their mental strength is too far beyond. Like we have that moment with Franky when he was pointing his radical beam right at Big Mom's face and had that epic line that do you want to make our captain the king of the pirates or not?
Right. That was so cool. The
mental strength with Straw Hats have grown a lot. And yesterday I was gonna record a video on that itself, that how post Wano I think everyone will have one or the other kind of Haki. By the end of Wano, I am pretty sure that everyone will have one or the other kind of haki because their willpower has gone too strong now.
Oh,
Everyone's ready to fight Yonkos at this point.
that's kind of a hot
They
take.
are not shying away. They are not cowarding away from that. Nami being a member of Car Trio, but still,
Yeah.
she has been stealing Zeus from Big Mom time to time now.
That's
Never forget that Big Mom is obviously a Yonko.
that's an interesting take.
They have grown strong mentally.
Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Yes.
Jinbe and Robin also, they also rolled Big Mom away. So I think post Wano, everyone will have one or the other kind of haki.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because that is tied to your willpower, hockey, and your emotional strength, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a translation for haki is willpower.
Have you guys seen 3D2Y, the special that took place, between...
Is that when he fights Brandy World?
Yeah,
or whatever?
Burn D World, because it's Burn the World,
Oh,
that's
my
the
goodness.
joke. Yeah.
Oh.
So Luffy, like, he couldn't quite, he couldn't quite get, like, too much of a grasp on hockey, He could sort of use it, but it wasn't like, he didn't really have, the best grasp on it, I'm not really sure how to describe it. It's been a while since I watched it.
Yeah, me too. It's not those episodes you watch on YouTube.
Right.
Like, oh, let's see that part. It's not one of them.
Yeah.
It was no film Z.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
I actually like there were some cool moments in that movie.
Yeah.
I
Are you
actually
referring
watched
to the Hancock scene?
Yes. Oh man, that was such a tense scene. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, there was I think it would be interesting to see the crew. They could sort of use hockey, but like not really. Kind of like how Luffy could sort of, but not really in that arc. In that special.
Yeah, well, I think it's same with Usopp right now. He has awakened his haki, but it's not like he has complete control over it like
Right.
Sanji and Zoro, and it's not that level. But he has already awakened, so that's what I'm thinking. That Franky will have armament haki only. It's he's not gonna awaken Kenbunchu no Haki at this point if he's ever gonna.
I think Usopp should have some like really cool observation hockey. I think we should have another moment like Dressrosa in Wano. Of Usopp doing something really cool, like with his observation hockey, like him sort of waking up to like him awakening it and sort of using it, but not really sure like why or how or what it is. Maybe we could even have an actual observation hockey user saying like noticing that maybe he's using it, maybe he's using observation hockey. Kind of like that one scene in I think it was Heart of Gold or something. I don't watch very many of the specials. But there was that one scene, I watched a clip of it on YouTube, and it had like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp using observation hockey at the same time. And they were like, oh, did you sense that? Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think a scene like that would be cool with Usopp,
Yeah, I feel almost like a lot of times there's power-ups happen off-screen.
Right.
Like they're led up to logically. Like when Oda reveals one of the characters having a new power-up, you're like, well, that tracks logically based on what I know of this character.
Right.
But we almost never get to see training montages aside from maybe Zoro lifting weights somewhere.
Right.
We don't get to see them being like, okay, this is how I learned Gear Second. This is how I learned how to
Diablo Jambe.
Yeah, it's more
So-
like simulation for them.
Jambe.
Yeah, I
They
feel
simulate their fights and then they jump into the flame.
Right.
I feel like we're going to see Usopp use his hockey on a semi-competent level next time we see him use it.
I think
Like
so,
he's
too.
gonna know this is what I'm using now, and I'm using it to do this thing. Because so far, since Dressrosa, I think since his Dressrosa moment, the only thing we've really seen him fight is head on Big Mom.
Right.
So it's not like he's had a chance to be like, yes, I can use my observation
Actually,
to try to determine what's gonna happen. It's like she just destroys.
Did he fight Big Mom?
Well, in the tank. He was in the tank running away from Big Mom.
Running away from Big Mom.
That's really the only combat situation he's been in.
Yeah, so far, really. I like the theory of him having to fight the numbers, but like that's probably not going to happen anymore. Like I don't think he's probably going to take on one of them. It seems like the Straw Hats might all team up and like fight each one individually. That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, numbers. Everyone was expecting that they will pack a little more punch. They will be at least a little more stronger. But well, Franky took out one of them.
Yeah.
Drake took out one of them, and now Luffy has also three. Well, if we go by the logic that there are 10, 3 of them are already out of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's
what
true.
you're saying is, if each of the Straw Hats are fighting one, Drake's gonna join the crew.
Oh no. Mm-mm. No.
Drake for Nakama then, I guess.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, I don't know how Oda's gonna use them,
Yeah.
if at all.
I like the idea.
I think
maybe he'll just take out. Maybe Usopp will take out the rest of them. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I feel like we're gonna get one competent sentient number, because when we saw their silhouettes, one of them, they were all hunched back and staggering and stumbling,
Right.
but one of them was standing erect, and it has the coolest silhouette of any of them we've seen. It has these straight up and down horns. It has this really thin look to it, and I'm hoping we'll get to see that one be more of a actual threat rather than a stumbling giant roadblock.
Right. Interesting.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Then maybe that's Usopp. Maybe
Speaking of things that are 10...
Oh, there's 10 numbers, yeah. As far as we know.
10 numbers.
Yeah.
Probably. At least 10, because the one's name was 10.
Yeah, Juki or whatever. And, we got Hacha. What are the other names? Nangi. Goki, I think that's one of them. But yeah.
Hacha's weird, because he just looks like a dude.
Right, he just looked like a dude with sort of like Stelly's hair. Kind of like his hair.
Yeah. Like a dude.
For one thing, numbers, I think there's a special connection with what Oda is going. Well, I have already made the video, and you have already watched it. We have discussed about that. But I think Oda is going towards the point that, numbers are somehow connected to Punk Hazard. I mean,
well, yeah.
Stated that.
Yeah.
Numbers are connected, and I am literally on board, completely sure that Kaido somehow has connection to Punk Hazard.
Yeah,
I think I might have seen
He probably
that video.
has a genetic connection to ancient giants. He has their horn shape and everything.
Yeah.
Because we can see clearly...
Something like, because we have not seen the birth of, as a child. We have not seen Kaido as a child. So it might turn out that Kaido is also one of the field experiments from reviving the ancient giant.
It's possible. We also do see crossbreeds of a lot of things, but we'll talk about him when we get to number 4 on our countdown. But yeah, we've seen a lot of crossbreeds. There's clearly the ability for all these races to breed and have mixed children. We've known that since what was it, the Davy back fight?
Right.
Big Pan.
Right. Yeah, those of half fishman, half giant. Yeah. That does come into question. How exactly do fishmen? Do they have live birth, or do they lay eggs?
These are the things SBS needs to answer. Actually, Oda would totally answer that if someone sent him that letter.
Yeah.
Sanji?
Yeah, sure. Sanji. Sanji. He was probably the most intriguing one when he first appeared for me, personally.
Yes.
He had the most visually interesting fighting style, in my opinion, at the time.
And the whole fighting with his feet thing.
Yeah. I think he was probably he probably had my favorite fights were with him. His
Yeah, well, he has his moments of not only badass fights and taking out strong opponents, but he has moments like freeing the Straw Hats from that after when they were escaping Ennis lobby. He pulled out that lever which opened the gates, and the whirlpools all just made way for the Straw Hats to go. And there's he has that moments. He has those moments for with
And you've got the whole Mr. Prince thing in Alabasta. That was really cool.
Yeah, he has been doing stuff which are not directly battle related, but yes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Sanji moments actually was in Wano, where he was like, you know what? I don't care if this is my family's stupid weapon. I need to fight, and I need to make a smart decision here. So I'm just gonna use it. I'm just going to use the. I thought we were gonna have to wait forever to see his raid suit, but no, he was like, "No, I have this super powerful."
Everybody was thinking that when the chips would go down, something like all the Straw Hats would be like, "Oh, we are gonna get defeated" or something, and Sanji would show up like, "Oh, I still have my raid suit," and take out some king or something like.
And now he actually loves his raid suit.
Yeah, he doesn't want to admit it, but yeah, he definitely loves it. He's sort of like tsundere towards the suit.
I'm super excited to see the redesign.
Yeah.
That's definitely. I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to
Do you think
what he's gonna change in this.
you think we're gonna get that this arc or a future arc or what?
I don't think there's enough room in this arc.
Yeah, because we've already seen they haven't adjusted it yet.
Yeah, they haven't
because
adjusted
he just used it. So I don't think they're going to have a chance until they're sailing between islands.
He had glasses.
Unless it turns like that, Kaido be like, oh, let's take a 2-day break and we'll continue a fight then. Let's take a 2-day booze break.
There was one thing. He had glasses in his first appearance, and he doesn't have glasses now. But that's the only thing.
When he uses red suit, he has that glasses, and when he had that little scuffle with King, he did not have.
Yeah.
Them.
Oh.
So that might be some artistic mistake, or Oda might be doing somewhere with that. Or...
Yeah. We'll see when the volume releases, I guess.
Yeah, who knows?
That's when they fix all the art mistakes, like Crocodile having 2 hands or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as far as backstories go, I actually was always touched most by Sanji's.
Oh, yeah.
After Zoro's, of course. Zoro's was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Not really. Zoro's was the worst one.
I think Usopp.
But yeah, Sanji's, no one died in Sanji's, aside from everyone who was on the cruise ship, of course. But when in Sanji's backstory with Zeph eating his own leg and stuff, that just, I don't know, something about all that painful. Got me.
Yeah.
That was painful, like, physically.
It's like he had to go through too much as a child. He had to go, first he was abandoned by his family, then he had he was on that ship, but he was then stuck on an island, a stone, and he had too much to go on.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, even before we learned about his past on Whole Cake, his time with Zeph, that was always one of I thought one of the most painful. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that one always spoke to me.
You got more of his backstory in Whole Cake Island. That was tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, after Whole Cake Island, I was like, that's very painful. He had to go through too much as a child only.
I think Sanji's backstory in Whole Cake Island, that was probably the saddest backstory in my opinion. When you add those two together, when you add Sanji's entire backstory together, I think that probably makes it the saddest.
Yeah. Independently, that's what I'm saying. That independently, they are sad, but when you put them together, he had to go too much. Yeah. First, he has his family, and then that.
Yeah,
Everyone else was like, well, Luffy had his bad story with the Sabo dying and all, and Robin also had her whole island obliterated and all. But it's just that it ended with that one thing. But Sanji, he had to keep...
Actually, I might have to change that. Robin might be the saddest.
Although, Brook also...
Yeah, Brook also.
Because his didn't end either. He had 50 years of suffering.
Yeah, it's hard to rank him, for real.
It is.
I guess since Sanji was I guess it was the sort of shock value that Sanji's backstory had that got me more than the other ones, because we didn't know very much about Brook or Robin when they got their backstories. But we knew all about, we thought we knew all about Sanji when we got his backstory, But yeah, that's probably why I think Sanji's backstory is probably the saddest.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what else about Sanji? Do you think, what if, we had some sort of weird, what if there was some sort of weird, condition or something involving the raid suit where, he couldn't use Diablo Jamba because I don't know, because maybe his suit is heat proof or fireproof or something, so it doesn't start when he spins around or whatever, it doesn't start the fire. That could be interesting. So he'd have to constantly have to take it off and put it on. I think that would be kind of funny, especially if we get. I kind of want a really classy looking redesign for the stealth black suit. I want something it looks like an actual. It looks like something even fancy. He's wearing some fancy suit, and then when he puts his raid suit on, it's an even more fancy suit. I think that would be kind of funny.
Yes. Also, just as a side note, the raid suits are kind of ugly.
Really? I think
they are. They're all baggy and.
I think that's the hair. I think you hate the hair. I just think that the hairs look weird.
Feel a little frumpy to me. I don't know.
I like the sort of campy, classic, the classic Japanese superhero vibe that it has.
Maybe I didn't really get raised on those. That might be why I'm just oh, this is.
It's not like I like got raised on them or anything, but like I just knew about those old, what do you call them, like tokutatsu or something like that. That's what the Japanese like they were made in like the 60s and 70s, and they were really campy, and they had like they had heavy special effects, but special effects in the 60s and 70s, they weren't necessarily the best. I guess more of the 70s, 80s, I think, but like
it's a guy dressed up as Godzilla and
right
kind of
like,
stuff.
Special effects weren't really the best, but it was still like there was still some sort of I don't know, some at the very least it was like ironically funny, to watch. But yeah, that was really cool. I like them. They're decent enough. Like they kind of have like it's kind of like a balance of ironically cool and unironically cool. That I like about that I like about the raid suits.
Yeah, it's definitely a matter of taste. It's just not mine.
All right, yeah, that makes sense.
I really do also like how there was so much fan speculation about Sanji and his past leading up to when we found out that it was like true.
Yeah.
All the little hints Oda had dropped. Oh, he was raised in the North Blue. Oh, he read a book on devil fruits that apparently is not as accessible as we originally may have believed. His weird blood type. Well, then finally it topped off with the alive-only bounty poster.
Yeah.
I makes me kind of wonder when Oda decided on having Sanji have this backstory.
Yeah, that elaborated backstory. Yeah, that's something he might have planned initially. That I'll do something in future with Sanji. Over the time he was like, I have built up quite enough for having a beautiful backstory with him.
Yeah.
Not exactly beautiful, painful.
And I think we would be remiss if we didn't touch on the All Blue, which is the oft forgotten mystery from the beginning of the series that we don't talk about very often. Yeah. It's like
I want to say it might
East Blue Times. East Blue Times. It was one of the biggest mysteries of the series.
Right.
But like it hasn't really been brought up since.
I want to say that might be like the least talked about dream out of all the crew. Like, we've had two places.
Well, the main reason for that might be because they do not know how they can exactly.
Yeah, but like Sanji doesn't even.
With everyone else, it's something like they know exactly what they should do. But with Sanji, I don't think he himself has a clear idea what must be done to get to All Blue or create All Blue.
Like the two most logical points where it should be at, logically speaking, it would be like we've already passed by them, like the two places where the red line sort of connect the four blues, right? So who knows? Like that's one of those things I just don't know what Oda plans to do. Like it's really difficult to speculate even about what exactly
it is a shame we haven't seen any hinting on it or anybody's brought it up since.
Yeah, very little canon hints about where it's at.
Yeah, we did get one, I think, like you said, non-canon hint. Someone else was like, oh yes, the All Blue, I do want to see that myself.
Right. And
what was it in Islab and not in Islabia, Water 7,
yeah,
right?
Water 7. And then there was also something in Logtown that mentioned about how like there were some fish that were like supposedly gotten in some place that was supposed to be like far away, like maybe in like the South Blue or something like that, but they were there in Logtown. And he was like so like something about how you can get fish from all over out in the Grand Line or something like that, something like that. But it wasn't canon. And it's like, so where is it? Like, I hope that's not going to be something Oda's going to drop. I don't think there's anything that Oda intends to just straight up. I don't think there's any like plot point that Oda has straight up forgotten about at this point, right?
Except maybe like Gin.
Maybe. There was the whole. I remember when the Toby Roppo, like the first teased appearance of the entire Toby Roppo, like they had their they were walking in, but it only showed their feet, and some mad lad. They came and like they saw Gin's feet. I want to say there's a whole Gin cult somewhere out there, and they're always looking for ways or reasons for one of the Toby Roppo to be just ways or reasons for Gin to come back. It would be really sad if like I think the saddest thing you could do would be like if it turned out that Gin was actually on the Beast Pirates, but he was actually like a not even like a play, like he was a gifter actually but like he was just a random gifter. He
or
ate
not
a
even
smile.
a gifter, a pleasure.
Yeah, or like a pleasure too.
Yeah, but he can't even laugh right because he just coughs all the time. He just coughs up blood.
Oh man, that would be so sad. Dang, yeah. If we're gonna see Gin, I just have this idea. Like concrete theories to connect anything, but I think the next arc would probably be Elbaf. Just logically thinking, logically thinking, that's the arc. That's the only arc that we have set up for us, right? Because once we got into the new world, there were all these other arcs. Like we kind of knew about a bunch of arcs that we were probably going to get to eventually. Mm-hmm. You know, like once we got to Fishman Island, and then we didn't know
Wano had been set up since
Punk Hazard,
since Thriller Bark, I think.
Oh yeah. So we some people probably had in mind that that we were probably going to get to Wano eventually, right?
I can't imagine it though, because we've known we were going to Wano for a while.
Right.
We knew we were going to Fishman Island for a while. To just drop Elbaf, oh well, we're going to Elbaf. I feel like we're gonna have to have some kind of oh yeah, we're gonna go to Elbaf in a minute. You know, we just gotta finish with Law's plan to get there, and then we're gonna,
Yeah, go to Elbaf after that, and
Usopp also has to go to Elbaf with his friendship with the giants and all.
There is no way. There's no way Usopp. There's no way we just aren't going to Elbaf, right? There's just no way.
Yeah, but how are we going to fit it in, and where, and why are they going there? Because, at this point, are they even going to go to Lodestar?
We've kind of known a bunch of islands that we were going to go to in the New World once we got there. And so, we knew we were going to Wano since Thriller Bark. We knew we were going to, once they got to Punk Hazard, that was I think after Fishman Island, that was the first arc that we just didn't know where they were going to go, right? And then they went to Punk Hazard. Mm-hmm. And then once they got to Punk Hazard, Law laid out his plan, and that involved going to Dressrosa. Then after Dressrosa, we knew about the Minx, I'm pretty sure we had an inkling that we were probably going to go to Whole Cake Island because the talk with Big Mom on the Din Din Mushi back in Fishman Island. So I think all the arcs that we knew we were going to go to eventually, we've already been to, except for Elbaf and the All Blue, I guess.
And Lodestar.
Oh yeah, and Lodestar
the island at
I guess.
The actual end of the Grand Line.
Yeah.
Are we even going to have to go there now? Because they were oh yeah, you don't have to go there now. You know about what it says there.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't actually go there. I don't think there's anything.
I think there would be something on Lodestar.
I want to go there so bad now, more than ever.
Why?
Because what is there that makes you say, oh, I have to collect 4 poneglyphs and read them to find the location of the One Piece.
Yeah.
Something very interesting is there.
And if something like that is on Roadstar, I think it's not going to be easy to get there also. Just like Laughter.
Yeah. It's funny, actually, when I started reading this series, I was like, man, why is the ocean so hard to navigate later on that none of these people have gotten there in 20 years?
Yeah.
And then Oda's like, oh, no, that's not the problem. It's because you need the map. I was like, oh, snap, that's perfect. It's perfect. But yeah, we've diverted a little from the Sanji topic.
Yeah.
Is there any more Sanji stuff we wanted to say?
Do you think he's going to get any sort of, I don't know. I think the raid suit is probably going to be his power up for a while. That might be what he's... Mm-hmm. Do you think he's going to form any new techniques based on the raid suit?
He's going to awaken his observation Haki. And that's it for his power-ups.
Yeah. I think also, who do you think he's going to go up against? That's one thing we didn't mention with Zoro. Everybody says, it's probably going to be Zoro versus King, because King has a sword, Zoro fights swordsman. And then everybody says Sanji versus Queen. Queen is, we don't really know much about Queen. Queen's the other person next up to Kaido, and, how Oda usually does the classic arcs. But I like the idea of Sanji versus King and Zoro versus Queen. And I think
so do I.
I think it's interesting that we're kind of sort of getting that.
For one thing, Queen being an Okama, I think that's another factor.
Oh yeah, Okama versus Okama. Yeah.
Queen.
But I like the idea of Zoro having to fight Zoro having to fight like a non-weapon user or like a martial artist, and then Sanji having to fight a swordsman. I think that would be fun to watch.
That would be a cool switcheroo.
Yeah, actually, that sort of happened in a non-canon movie, the Chopper one, Chopper's Island of Strange Animals. I think, it was pretty cool too. It was probably the only good thing about the movie, the Zoro and Sanji's fights, really. But yeah, if you guys, if they're up on YouTube, you can go watch it. Don't bother with the rest of the movie though.
I think the best idea for a fight for Sanji, not saying it's the one that should happen, but Sanji versus Page 1 rematch.
Oh, yeah.
But this time,
like,
Big Sis is there to protect him.
Oh.
Protect Pepe.
Oh. Yeah, that's an interesting fight.
That's certainly interesting, but what I think is that the Toby Ropos, not all of them, well, Sasaki and Page, who are the heavy hitters, but the rest of them, I don't think they are gonna pose a lot of threat. That's why I don't want Sanji to fight, have an all out of fight with them, like a 1v1, which could go on for chapters.
I think a quicker fight, like not like a real fight, but like, yeah, just like a quick, match. But like Sanji does win. Page 1 is taken down. Maybe something happens to Ulti. Maybe Nami or someone else, like maybe Chopper, since we don't really know what Chopper's doing. Like Chopper decides to step in. He's like, yeah, I can hit women and you can't. So I don't know. But
yeah, something that shows that okay, he's stronger than Page 1. He does not need to fight him.
Right.
I want something like that.
Right.
That they are not worth his time to say.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's this matchup that should happen. I'm just saying I think it would be a fun one to see.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, it would definitely be a fun one. That's for sure. Especially with the character of Ulti in the game now. That'd be even more funny.
Also, on a side note, because we always talk about which person's going to join the crew, the opening's theme song for the beginning of One Piece introduces all 5 of these people as being part of the crew.
Right.
And that is huge spoilers.
Yeah.
And I just realized that rewatching that recently, and I was like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's the main reason I never watch openings for at least the starting 10 chapters.
I was like, you just...
Until I know a little bit.
You just
it's going down.
Spoiled, like, the entire East Blue for us. Nice job, opening.
And, well, in the Wano openings are going towards next level.
I don't even think those are, like, major spoilers. They're sort of, like, hints. But like we just call them. We just think they're spoilers because we've read through the chapters and we know what's gonna happen, and we know why Drake shows up in the opening and why Kobe shows up like right next to him, and we know why Kanjuro like kind of jumps out in that opening too, and we know why and we know what Roger and Whitebeard are doing in that opening. But like one thing I would say it's spoilers is Odin's design, because he's there in the opening for just a few seconds, but he's there.
Yeah, Oda took his time introducing Odin, but...
I never thought that was a huge deal. When he was introduced, I was like, oh man, this dude looks stupid.
No, it's not, but Oda took his time introducing him, completely silhouetting him all the time when he was even on screen.
Right.
But the anime just, he's there.
Yeah.
Just like that time when Kaido's dragon was supposed to be shown for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
We see that panel where Kaido is just looming over the town in his dragon form, but in anime it was animated like he's turning into a dragon form and now leaving.
Right.
So that everybody after Punk Hazard with the hatred of dragons within Kinemon, it was more or less fixed that Kaido is gonna something like that turn into something, a dragon or something like that. Mm-hmm. But seeing that panel was just too amazing.
Yeah.
But anime, for me, well, for some people it might have been good that we see him transforming. But for me, it was that surprise which got.
I guess we're kind of going off topic again.
We love this series too much.
Right. Shall we?
Should we move on to Chopper?
Yeah, sure. Chopper. I think that was the closest. The first time I got close to crying in One Piece. Was during Chopper's backstory. I don't know, something about like the fact that he was like kind of abandoned and like nobody wanted him. Like that kind of touched me, like that theme of like abandonment and not really knowing where to go or like what to do, not thinking you had people like in your life that could like love you and support you, like that, like something about that, like I really kind of like I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the fact that the 4 kids handled it poorly, but I actually didn't appreciate his backstory at all until I reread the series recently.
Oh, dang.
Before that, I was just like, oh, yeah, Chopper's backstory is sad, I guess.
Oh, dang. Oh, so you watched it during the 4 Kids era?
Oh, yeah. I was, actually, my one friend saw the episode before I did and spoiled that Chopper, or no, he watched the Japanese while I was watching the 4 Kids release during that Drum Island, and he spoiled that Chopper was going to join the crew for me. And I was like, oh, gee, thanks, man.
He watched the Japanese version?
I was like, who? Yeah, well, my friend had already watched the Japanese version of One Piece. He was all caught up on the anime, and I was there watching the 4 Kids. And he was like, yeah, Chopper joins the crew. I was like, who? And he's like, oh, that reindeer with gray hair. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Imagine your I can't imagine the reaction. I was sort of spoiled that Chopper would join because I knew about the opening. Like, I knew about, like, the 4 Kids opening, and, like, I knew about some of the memes and stuff. And so, like, in the song, Sanji's cooking and Chopper's doctoring. And so I was like, whenever, Chopper first appeared, Kureha was just like, come on, Chopper. And I was like, oh, dang. So that's the next crew member? It's a reindeer? That's interesting. That's all I knew.
Yeah, that's funny that we both had similar experiences with Chopper.
Yeah, and involving 4 Kids, too. But, yeah, I think Chopper, like, honestly, like, his redesign post-time skip, like, his, the redesign of his points, I liked, like, he had 7 different points, right? I think, I really liked arm point and jumping point, and they switched those out for kung fu point and monster point is okay, but I don't really like kung fu point. I just don't really like the design that much, and it's like.
Do you know how long it took me to figure out why he looked like that?
Why?
It took me forever to figure out why he looks like that. Because that is the shape of the people on the island he was stranded on.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. How did I not
They look like those weird little cone people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Fat cone people.
Yeah.
So he just adopted their appearance, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. But, like, I guess it's just the fact that, actually, just most of his forms, outside of, his forms post-time skip, he seems less monstrous, and that seems, like, kind of counterintuitive to, like, his sort of theme when he first came back from the time skip. Like, he was kind of embracing his monsterness,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it wasn't the same. A lot of them were too cute or too weird. It wasn't like, even his basic form, it was like, it looked a little cooler, and now it just kind of looked like merchandise.
Yeah, it just looks like merchandise, I don't mind, cuteness per se. It's not like I really have anything too against it, but it's like, it's really like, contradictory to like what it seems like Chopper was trying to be, And also, I've been really like kind of fascinated with these drawings I've seen of like cute anime characters, but they have like really creepy things about them. Like, I saw this one character of like a snake girl, right? But like her mouth could unhinge like a snake, and she had like teeth like snakes. And I don't know if you've actually seen like the inside of like a snake's mouth. I don't know if you actually.
Now I know why you want Nami to eat the. Now I know why you want Nami to eat the dragon fruit. Okay.
But like, I don't know. But like, if you've seen like the inside of a snake's mouth, it's not exactly like what I thought it looked like. It looks like really weird and terrifying, I don't know if I can find the picture, but it's cute, but it's also like kind of scary, kind of creepy and weird looking,
Yeah, just include it in the video so everyone can see it.
Yeah, I'll try. Maybe. I don't know. I think I remember where I found it, but yeah, I think something like that with Chopper's design, I think that would have been cool, combining like cute things with like scary things, something genuinely cute and scary, at the same time. Combining those aspects.
I don't know how Robin would feel about that, though.
Yeah, I also like the idea of Robin, like, she has to, like, close her eyes or something. She has to, like, go to another room or, like, face another direction. She just can't talk to Chopper unless he's in Brainpoint. That would be, like, his cute form. Like, that would be the form that's only cute,
That would be fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, also, Chopper, I don't think he has the most exciting part of the story.
Yeah. Honestly.
He's definitely a good addition to it. He has his moments, but I don't know. He's just not as dramatically interesting to me.
Yeah, he also hasn't really done much post-time skip, or he hasn't done too much.
No.
Like, I think Oda, he kind of focuses more on, the original 5, and then the rest are they kind of get their moments that kind of they get their moments kind of individually from arc to arc.
Yeah.
Like, and Chopper just happens to be not one of the main 5 or the original 5 or the OG 5, whatever you want to call them. So like he's not as significant to like the greater plot. But even with that being said, he hasn't really done too much like outside of that either. I think this arc, if he were to do something that was like really significant, I think it'd be really cool if he could like figure out the cure to the smiles, I've heard that theory. Oh
snap! You're right.
Yeah, I've heard that theory.
Would be really.
They've been kind of thrown around.
I hope Oda addresses it better than he did with the cure to Land of Death.
What is that?
The Shimotsusuke, the smiley explosion in Punk Hazard, where they were like, "Oh yes, we can cure these people now.
Oh,
they're fine."
Yeah,
that was horrible. But as long as Oda handles the curing of the smile better than he did that, I'll actually be super on board with Chopper being able to cure that.
I also picture the scene, like, he's working in the lab, and like he's got maybe some other people in there helping him. There aren't really any doctor characters in this arc so far.
Law.
Oh yeah, Law. Like, yeah, maybe he's in the lab with Law, right? And he's and like they step out and they like, this is the cure. They're holding the cure. Maybe it's like, I don't know, a drink. That's what I'm imagining, some kind of potion or something like that. They're like, this is the cure to the smile fruit. And then like we see like maybe the first one to have it, to drink it, would be Toko. And like she drinks it, and like and then she laughs like a whole bunch, right? And then she's like basically, now that she has the cure to the smile, she can't stop genuinely smiling. That would be cute, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That'll be cute.
Right.
Like, and then maybe even have like her like sob and then start laughing again because she's so happy she can finally cry. Like, that would be heartbreaking and amazing. And then think about it.
Yeah, I also in that thing I would like to add that what would be like that now she can finally cry to her father's death.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
And
now that would be heartbreaking.
Then we would get a moment with Killer and Kid.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah.
Because Kid does not care about other people that much, but he loves his crew. Killer is his best friend. And having Chopper cure Killer...
Yeah, that would probably...
like,
that
forever on Luffy's side.
Yeah, I could even see him trying to like do some kind of like, some sort of like tsundere thank you to Chopper somehow, something like that. That would be funny.
It would be funny. I think that it would definitely lead to a genuine, even if like Kid does not take Luffy's side on purpose at all.
Right.
That moment, if Chopper saves Killer, Kid would be 100% Team Luffy.
Yeah.
Based on what we know of his character.
I think that should be, that should be Chopper's role.
Yeah.
I think maybe that should have been set up a little bit earlier. Maybe he should have been at Yasui's death, and like he saw the result, like he saw like how it affected everybody, and like maybe he was like, I'm determined to do something about this, right? Something like that. I think that would have planted the seeds really well. And I think that would have really been cool,
Now I really want this to happen.
Yeah.
That would be so many epic character moments coming from
that.
That would be, and plus that would be Chopper's moment to shine.
Right.
Now all we need is one for Robin.
Yeah. Speaking of Robin, I'm down to move on to Robin.
Favorite Straw Hat.
Really?
Robin's my favorite.
Interesting.
Robin is my absolute favorite Straw Hat.
All right. How come?
I mean, I like her as a character. I get where she's coming from.
Yeah, Robin's probably one of my favorites too. I don't know.
She's very emotionally complex.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And I think he's managed to write her silence well.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. She could do more, in the story. She did get that one moment. Against Big Mom, like teaming up with Jinbe. That was really cool. I'm hoping we get at least, one more scene like that, But yeah, I hope she gets a real fight this arc too. Who knows?
Well, we're definitely gonna get some more history stuff this arc.
Oh yeah, some history stuff.
The secret poneglyph in a creepy doll room.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, what was that about?
Which we need to know about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and we need to know about the poneglyph that's red that's somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
So no doubt, Robin's gonna have some history to investigate.
Right.
Well, she's there.
She also did some reconnaissance stuff, early on. So, like, she's not being completely useless this arc, definitely.
No, she's not.
Yes, I think
Still need more Robin time.
if we got more, if we didn't get very much more Robin, I wouldn't be completely I wouldn't be like unsatisfied. I'd be like Robin's done quite a bit this arc, like in comparison to what she's been doing before. But yeah, she's cool. She's probably got, it's between Sanji, Chopper, Robin, and Brook. Like, as for like, it's a constant. I'm constantly flip flopping between one of those three, right? That's my thing. Like, I'm constantly flipping between one of those people. Like, I'm always flipping between like which one has the saddest backstory.
It was interesting. The way I actually learned that Robin was going to join the crew was a long time ago. There was a game called One Piece Pirate Carnival.
Oh, you had that.
It was like Mario Party, but with One Piece stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 7 playable characters.
And
Luffy,
Robin was one of them.
Zoro,
Yeah.
Nami, Sanji. And the last one was Nico Robin. And I was like, who the heck is that?
Yeah, I think Robin, I actually managed to avoid most spoilers, I think, about Robin.
I never made the connection Nico Robin being Miss All Sunday, because she was just a generic black.
So you weren't at Alabasta
game.
yet, or you just didn't remember?
No, I was. I
Miss
knew
All
about
Sunday,
Miss All Sunday, but she had all these flamboyant outfits and these capes and these hats. And in the game, this Nico Robin character was just a black-haired lady with a white shirt. And I was like, I don't know who this is. I don't know why they're important, but I guess we're gonna meet them soon. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, that's Miss All Sunday. She joins the crew. Okay,
right.
Okay.
Interesting.
Like, it never clicked for me until I think Crocodile was like, isn't that right, Nico Robin? And she's like, don't use my name. I'm like,
So you were kind of spoiled, but well saved because of the changed character design.
yeah, I was like, oh, that's Nico Robin. Huh, she joins the crew. Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
But by then she had already saved Luffy once, and she had already indicated there was more to her. So I was like, okay, I can get behind this.
Yeah, she's pretty cool, Like, she's probably the Straw Hat I would like to meet in real life and just chill with her, I feel like I'd be a little bit distracted during the conversation, but it would be really nice,
Can't imagine why.
Yeah. But yeah, it's she's pretty cool. I hope she does more. I'm not sure who she should fight. Like, I don't have any like solid idea. Maybe Black Maria. That would be really cool, right?
Oh.
Like, she's got her big feet. But
can have some kind of thing where like they have like an actual like grappling, giant grappling.
Yeah, well, she not only her legs, she can create a giant body of herself, and then she can wrestle it out.
Oh.
That'd be very cool.
Man,
that would be awesome.
I would do things. I would do things to some fans, right? I feel like that would spark something in some of the fans. If we had like a giant
this whole
Nico
arc
Robin.
though,
right?
This whole arc with all of the girls they're introducing, everybody's going nuts.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
That's it on Nico Robin. Oh wait, last thing, I do not ship her with Franky.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like, at first, the thing is, here's the thing. I don't want anybody to be with Nico Robin because I want to be with Nico Robin. Yeah.
No one's good enough for her.
God.
Okay, so
Yeah, but you know what? Like, it just doesn't seem like a genuine, like, I like the dynamic between the two now. I could see it work. I could see it happening, but not on screen. I could see like an epilogue thing. Maybe they got together or something like that. Right.
She's like kind of grossed out by him though, isn't she? Like,
Kinda.
when he was in Chopper's body and stuff. Like,
Kinda,
I can't
yeah.
imagine it's not a romantic back and forth they have.
Yeah, but there is something. I think they do have like a little bit of back and forth,
They are the only adults that are human.
Yeah, they're the
So
oldest,
there might be-
or sort of, kind of.
They just might have kind of a little like tease thing going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
sort of like a
think it's
tease.
romantic.
Like, you could say some of the stuff they say is like, kind of casually flirty sometimes, but like nothing too serious. I don't think a date between those. I can't imagine like a date between those two going very well. Actually,
Speaking of Franky.
Yeah. Speaking of Franky, let's move on to Franky. He's got like a he's got like a very unique charisma about him. I don't think I've seen any, like, he's probably one of the most unique characters like I've ever seen. Even if you don't like him, you might start to like at least something about him eventually, you know?
Exactly how I feel about him.
Yeah.
I wasn't big on him. I was like, but it's just like he's so cool that it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not big on him, but he's so cool.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Franky's character is just to... I'm waiting for that Franky to show up his moments in this arc.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of,
I think that's just the beginning for
Mom,
Franky in this arc.
you know.
He's gonna do a lot more.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's so bombastic.
There's no way he's... Like, I could see, like, an interaction between him and Queen. Like, maybe not a full fight, but, like, I could see them scuffling for at least a little bit, you know?
Yeah, the two mechanics, they are something like engineers themselves. So maybe a little mech fight between them.
Right.
Both of them showing their gadgets
because
and
he's
all
an inventor
stuff
too.
like that.
Yeah, that could be really cool. I wouldn't be against that at all.
Oh, that would, if those two ended up as the fight, though, the Sanji fanboys would die.
Yeah. I mean, unless Sanji fights King. Then the Zoro fanboys would die.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a tag team battle between Sanji and Zoro would be too amazing to watch. Too funny to watch, I should say. They will fight among themselves more than the opponent.
I think one idea is like, maybe they do fight. It'd be kind of like Enia's lobby. Like, maybe they do have, that maybe characters do go against certain other characters, but then they switch. You know, like maybe Sanji fights King, but then he switches with Zoro, and then Franky fights Queen, but then he switches with Sanji. And I want Franky to get like a really good fight, like this arc. Like something about, like, I think this was this last chapter, these last few chapters with Franky, like that last chapter where he did the thing with Big Mom, like he ran over her face, like that was the part where I was like I liked Franky before, I came to like Franky before, but now I think I'm starting to love Franky, you know.
Big question, what do you think, because we talked about Chopper's time skip redesign, because it was one of the biggest redesigns, but the biggest one was definitely Franky.
Yeah. No, I had no problems with Franky's redesign.
I loved him changing his design to even more of a robot, especially after working in
the only problem was with his hair, because like I was like, I don't know about bald Franky, but like then he was like, he could do all these things with his hair, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, the head cannon, the whale, oh my god, I love it. I love it.
Like he could do
I think for that Oda is going for some reference, but I'm not sure what it might be. It may be just like he loved giving Franky different hairstyles, but it might also be some reference which Oda is going for, and I don't know what that is.
But yeah, it's cool. I like Franky's redesign. I never disliked it actually.
When it was first introduced for me, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this one, but almost immediately it got to the point where looking back, I was like, oh, this is so much better.
Yeah,
this is so much cooler.
Yeah. I think I have that to say about like pretty much every redesign. Actually, no, because I liked every redesign except Robin's, but like only because of the anime. Like they made her brown in the like pre-time skip, and then she was white, like really pasty in comparison, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently Oda's original.
Yeah, she was
pretty pale.
Yeah, she was pretty pale, but still, like she's brown, like in my heart, you know. I think there was even like a Photoshop of Robin. Like I saw this Photoshop of Robin like a post-time in a post-time skip outfit, and she was brown. I was like, this, like I don't know, like it looked.
That's your Robin.
It's my taste. It's my taste, I guess. But you know, I don't mind pale Robin either. It's whatever, you know. Like I've managed to get over it by now. But yeah. I think one thing that's kind of funny is that like Franky, he on his forearms, like he has the little, like they're like blue blocks or whatever, but they still kind of have hair on them. I think that's kind of weird and funny, you know.
I figured he drew that on.
Yeah. You think he drew it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, he must have. I don't think he grows hair out of there anymore.
I think it'd be funny to imagine like he had hair there, you know. But like there was also this theory that like inside of you know how he has like kind of stitches kind of down from his neck in like on the sides like of his abdomen. Not really theory, but there was this drawing of him like it was his pre-time skip self like inside of like the post-time skip body, so it's like he kind of lives, like he's kind of inside that, so maybe he could like take it off so he's pre-time skip again, but like,
oh my goodness, because just then it would be like the giant robot has a little Franky
right,
inside,
it has like a tiny,
Franky has a smaller
I
Franky inside.
I like that a lot, but at the same time, it was like I do, but I don't like it, you know, like I'm fine with it, like,
but it's also gross.
Yeah. It's also kind of weird and gross, you know, but you know, Franky, like, part of Franky's charm is that he's sort of like, he's so weird, and he kind of borders on gross constantly, but he never really quite makes that he never fully crosses the threshold of like just gross, like too gross to be good, to be likable, you know.
So close though.
Right.
Finally, MVP, Whole Cake Island arc.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Brook.
Brook.
Oh man, yeah, no doubt. I liked Brook, you know, since the beginning. I just like characters with afros, and then like he's got like the saddest backstory.
Yeah, well, for me, Brook's backstory is the first.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, living in that Florian Triangle for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Lonely, just that's the most painful.
Literally surrounded by the corpses of your dead loved ones.
Right.
For just decades. By yourself.
God, yeah, and then just watching them, you know, rot, and watching his own body rot. Like, oh wait, no, he came back. No, he had
to suffer.
Yeah, he wandered, like his spirit wandered, but like he eventually found his body, right? And it was bones by then.
Yeah, at some point he found, and well, when he reached that, all his body was already decomposed, and that was painful. I mean, to see your own skeleton, what could have been like seeing your own skeleton lying there with the afro still there.
I think Brook, he's got like a very interesting like set of abilities, you know. Yeah. Probably the most interesting. I wanted to say Usopp had the most interesting. I was going to mention that earlier, but yeah, I think it's between Usopp and Brook for having the most interesting abilities, you know. Can Brook, can he possess items? I think that would be cool. You know, if he could.
We actually don't really even know the full set of powers that he comes with.
Right. I don't even know if he knows, because
yeah, probably not.
Like, so he kind of just discovers like, oh, I can do this. And like, I don't know. I think Brook, he's got probably one of the most interesting devil fruits. Probably one of the most like theoretically flexible devil fruits. No pun intended, like, because Luffy's got, you know. But yeah, very interesting fruit, I guess.
Yeah, could potentially be one of the strongest.
Yeah,
but we don't
potentially
really know how it works.
Like the way it's being used. I think you've got some devil fruits that are just kind of inherently crazy. You know, you've got like Ace's fruit, Akainu's fruit is like they're Enel's fruit, Kaido's fruit probably, like they're probably some of the most like inherently strong. Like whoever ate it, they would probably be like.
Yeah, well, Akainu's fruit has been stated by Oda himself to be has the highest attack power or
so
destruction power, you can say.
So yeah, those devil fruits would be like the craziest, but I'm interested in the ones that aren't that are more dependent on the individual's use of them, like Luffy's devil fruit, you know, and Brook's devil fruit,
or even Katakuri's.
Yeah,
Katakuri's is he makes dough.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's able to use it so creatively is actually very impressive.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then there's Brook's fruit, who's also like similar. The abilities, like, it's kind of you kind of have to speculate. Like, it kind of brings one to speculate, like, what exactly are his abilities? But like, what if he could like revive other people? Like, as soon as like they die, like he can see their spirit, and then like he can take their spirit and like put it back in their body. Wouldn't that be crazy? Because it is the revive fruit, right? But I don't know.
Yeah. Who says it's limited to just him?
Right. Who says limits to just him? Or what if that's like his awakening? Like, he can take other bodies and revive them.
Oh, yeah, that would be an awakening ability.
Yeah. But he could only do it...
Because clearly he can have influence on the souls of others, because he can draw them out of homies.
Oh, is that... Yeah. So...
Yeah, that's one thing. That quite be the awakening for them. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
That's interesting. I think Brook could be the... Yeah, if I wouldn't mind seeing Brook, you know, awaken his devil fruit, you know, before Luffy does.
So So here's how it goes. You see, at the end of Wano, it's like Luffy's gonna die, and everyone's like, "Oh man, Law's gonna give him the immortality surgery, save his life." And then Brook
comes in
no, I got
once
this.
again, proving himself to be the best character in
Brook
fiction.
comes in and he's like, Luffy's soul from the underworld has summoned you.
Yep, puts it right back in there. It's like, okay, you gonna join the crew now, Law?
Oh man, yeah, that would be cool. That would be fun. All right.
He'd be like, okay, you can save people, but well, I can straight up revive them. So I am the better doctor here.
Of course, we can't stop there. I don't know if you guys had anything else you want to say about Brook. He's managed, even though he's from the second wave of Straw Hats, he's managed to prove himself for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I'm ready to move on.
To our newest member, Jinbe. Finally.
Yes, finally.
Finally.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for over 2 hours. Oh wait, you mean like finally as in the story? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, both. So.
Since Fishman Island, that is kind of crazy.
So for Jinbe, you feel like he has some kind of, injury to himself, like after fighting Big Mom pirates.
Mm-hmm.
He showed up pretty much unscathed.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And that bugs me a little.
Just a little bit, I agree.
I wonder if it's because he was underwater the whole time. I mean, Big Mom.
But it's still, Big Mom pirates are yonkos. I think they could have. It's not like it's shown anything like they have been hurt much.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what happened.
Like how Big
crew.
Mom stated.
Big
Mom stated that they damaged their fleet quite a bit. Big Mom stated that she's not gonna forgive Jinbe for what he did to her fleet.
Yeah.
But it does not look like they could return that same towards the Fishman pirates.
Yeah.
They pretty much escaped that.
I have heard the theory that like maybe he's not okay and he's just like hiding his injuries, because he didn't want to upset anybody.
Yeah, something similar to like All Might. He might show up like half of my respiratory organs were.
Oh man, yeah.
Something like that. I'm also hoping that there is some injury to him, or
How
at least
horrible. How horrible would it be?
The other pirates.
Yeah, that would be horrible. That would add some real.
If it's like, okay, we've been waiting for him to join the crew. Is he gonna die and not join the crew? Is he not gonna die and not join the crew? And finally, he's like, oh, I guess he's not gonna die. He joined the crew.
Yeah.
No, my internal injuries are too great. I die now.
Right. Dang.
Bye.
Yeah, that would be sad. One thing about Jinbe is that like he doesn't seem to have any like character quirks that really make him stand out. Other than. He's the mature one. Like he's kind of like the dad. He came in clutch all those different times. Helping Luffy and the crew. But like
he has been the guy to stand up for the crew. To represent the crew. He's the one.
What would make like the dynamics between him and the rest of the Straw Hats, fun?
Yeah, that's the most interesting one because he's already an established warlord.
Right.
He does not exactly fit with the funny side of the crew.
Right, exactly. That's what.
Well,
except for that one moment in Fishman Island when he was like, "What should we name the operation?"
Right.
Oh yeah, that was.
I have nothing to go except that one.
Oh yeah, there was also that
if
scene.
Oda runs with that, gives us a few more scenes of Jinbe doing unnecessary things, just like because he likes to name things and he likes to come up with weird ideas. And I'd like to see that.
Cool. That could be cool.
Expanded on.
Also, there was a time where, like, when he joined, like, a couple chapters after he joined, like, he let Luffy and Zoro, like, kind of go crazy, and he didn't realize it. Everybody's going crazy. Like, everyone's like, why did you let them leave? Yeah, that was kind of fun. I could see it happening. Yeah. I could see him also being kind of like, having, like, a bunch of, like, dad jokes. I could see that being a thing,
And initially, we didn't really get to see Robin be too quirky. I mean, aside from... No, that's not true. Originally, Robin had her weird quirk of always stating the most like horrible thing that could have happened.
You're right.
Yeah.
Don't be careful. It's a long fall.
Some of the most dark stuff has been from Robin only.
Right.
It's like I imagine that their bodies splattered with.
And that was I could see it happening. That's another thing about like the rest of the crew member. Like, and
it also just imagining like Luffy and the others are ready to catch a fish to eat, and Jinbe is like, no, don't eat a fish. He's always like,
that could be funny. Yeah,
that might be something funny going on.
That could be funny. Any like ideas about like who's gonna fight or like anything like that? Like, what do you think he's gonna be doing further in the rest of this arc? Any ideas like that?
Well, honestly, I would be okay with him not being like, because we just got him. I don't need to have him show off like crazy. We've already gotten a few cool moments from him. Mm-hmm. We got the rest of the crew together. I want to see them do cool stuff. Like Jinbe, if he if he doesn't have a main one-on-one fight, I'll be okay with it.
Well, if he has, I want it to be with Sasaki being him. I think he's pretty much fixed to be a fishman. Both of them using their fishman karate.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Kaido's very tolerant about fishmen. He really seems to like them on his crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it's just his teeth and all. His design seems like that of.
I think Sasaki is a fisherman. You're right.
I don't really have any opposition about that. Like, Jack's a fisherman, but like Jack, he's got enough people who could go against him.
Yeah.
Like, we just got the Minx.
I really think Jack versus the Minx is where all the emotional stakes are.
Yeah,
I think they need
so
their chance to get back.
I really don't like. It would make sense if like people are saying Jinbei's probably like the fourth strongest, right? So like he would fight. Like it would make sense, lineup wise, for him to fight Jack. But like, yeah, no, because Jack already has like a bunch of he's got a bunch of emotional like stake things to deal with the Minx. Like it just makes too much sense for him not to. His or Jack's final fight. So yeah, Jinbei, probably like maybe a number and maybe Sasaki. And one thing that could be interesting, you could have like Sasaki, and if we want to keep going with like the Robin and Jinbei sort of teaming up, we could have like Sasaki and Black Maria teaming up. There's no real other reason than just the fact that, like, since Robin and Jinbei are together at the moment, Sasaki, the fishman, and the strong woman character, like they could have like their face off. I think that could be cool.
I feel like Sasaki's going to be more than just a straight up opponent. We've gotten too much screen time for someone so small to see him as just being a straight up opponent. I feel like there's going to be more depth to how he acts in this arc.
Yeah, well, he already has his friendship with Denjiro to go on.
Yeah, I think who's going to be kind of just a straight up battle opponent, but I think Sasaki's got some depth to him.
For Huzu also, I think it's up in the air because he has stated he want to fight Queen. But well, he also.
Or did he want to fight?
Ambushed Drake.
Did he actually want to fight Drake? Because he just said he wanted to kill someone.
Yeah.
He might have just meant Drake.
During the introduction, it was quite clear that they wanted to fight Queen. And
I'm gonna have to reread it.
When Kaido also stated that the reward for capturing Yamato would be fighting one of the calamities, and he was excited about that.
Yeah.
So I think he wants to fight Queen, but for some reason he ambushed Drake. He might double cross Queen at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see soon. So we should probably wrap up with who's number 10.
Yeah.
Question.
The who's number 10 question. Honestly, I am on board with Vivi. If you wouldn't consider her a crew member already.
Vivi's it's not like for her. It's I don't think she's be like, okay, I'll leave my country to sail with the Straw Hats. The problem is
that's the problem. I'm okay with Yamato.
We don't know if there's a country left for her to be in after whatever happened at River Raid.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That's awesome.
But another possibility is like I'm okay with Yamato on a certain condition. Basically, I don't want her to continue acting like Odin for the rest of the story. Because for one thing, that's just like I just think that's kind of gonna get old, and for like.
Well, Luffy doesn't seem to like it either.
Yeah. Also, like just the fact that it only makes the most sense.
For Yamato, I think it's something like it's gonna be something like Katakuri, that after Big Mom has fallen, Katakuri takes up the reins for the Big Mom pirates.
I mean, it
might be something like that with Yamato.
That's just the theory, though, right?
But well, she's not exactly interested in running a pirate crew, so she might also disassemble.
But like my idea is like I think. Her character arc could very well be like she kind of instead of trying to be Odin, she learns that she should be her own person, and it's okay to be like Odin, but it's you don't want to be a character,
You have to be original. You have to be yourself.
Right, exactly. That's what she's gonna learn. I think that's what she's gonna learn. Especially if she's gonna join the crew, I think that's what she's gonna have to learn, and she's gonna.
If she's gonna join the Straw Hat, that's definitely she should grow.
I think it will depend largely on what happens with Wano when the borders.
Exactly. Definitely.
if Wano needs oversight and protection, and she discovers herself, she might try to, instead of doing what Odin did, try to protect the country he called home.
You're right. All right.
Yeah.
Whereas if, Wano's open, everything's okay with Momo and Hiyori being in charge and whatever scabbards are left to protect them, then she might be like, Luffy, let me go with you. It's kind of the same boat as Vivi. What is the state of their country at the end of the arc? That'll determine whether or not they end up sailing with the Straw Hats.
And, you've got the carrot argument. I mean, I'm fine. At this point, I'm fine with it. She just has to have, some kind of goal, She has to have some kind of end goal.
Yeah, for the Straw Hats, you must have some goal in mind, and Carrot does not seem to have that except that adventure thing. And
and it's originally I thought she doesn't really have a tight bond with Luffy. It's more with Chopper.
Yeah.
But initially Franky didn't really have a tight bond with Luffy.
Yeah.
He had a tight bond with Usopp and sort of Robin, and then Luffy was like, "Yeah, we need you."
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he takes crew recommendations.
There's a list of people that also people consider as candidates, but there are people.
I still consider Law a strong candidate. I know a lot of people are in the boat of he's gonna die soon. There's no way he's joining. He has his own crew. But Luffy straight up said to Cavendish, "Law's on my crew now." And Law was like, "No, I'm not." But so was Sanji. So
yeah.
Well, if we go by the theory that the Law is actually a member of Sword and all, and the crew is just some money.
There was that theory.
So then we can have Law. They already have a dynamic. They already have quite the dynamic with him sailing with him. So that could be a possibility.
There's some strong arguments against it, but I feel like the fact that Luffy wants him on the crew is a strong enough argument for it to leave it still up in the air.
Right. A couple of characters that I just don't think are going to join are Momo. I just don't.
He needs to stay with Wano.
Yeah.
He needs to sort out Wano once Wano is safe.
Also Tama.
Even if he is the one who becomes the shogun, but he still needs to be one.
Also Tama. I just don't.
Tama.
They are still children. Much like when you may remember then Shanks said that you are still a child. It's similar. It's similar to that. They are still children.
And
they need to grow up a bit first.
A Smoker. There are some people who think that Smoker is going to join. I don't think he will.
Oh no.
Yeah, even with
I've
Mr.
seen
Mord.
some pretty convincing arguments.
Yeah.
But I'm still obviously Smoker at some point is going to choose Luffy's side over any other side. He's going to say, no, I'm going to take Luffy's side over the world government or over the Celestial Dragons or whatever he has to do. He's going to say, I'm teaming up with Luffy now. But him actually sailing as a pirate, I think, would go against his moral code too hard.
Like something has been going on in Drake. He said he's fighting along with Luffy, but it's not like he's joining Luffy.
Right.
Yeah. I really don't think... I just think for Smoker to say, I'm a pirate, would be too much for him. I don't think he would ever dare say...
He needs to be a marine and will become an admiral or fleet admiral at some point.
Right. So, yeah... those are my takes for number 10. I guess the main candidates for me would probably be Yamato and Carrot.
Yeah, Vivi's the one, I guess.
Got a lot of female.
Yeah, Vivi, Yamato, and Carrot, I guess. Well, Vivi, if she isn't already. If she wouldn't consider her already. But even then.
Well,
even then.
As a sailing. Sailing.
Right, yeah, right.
An active Nakama.
Yeah, active sailing Nakama. The most likely candidates, in my opinion, are
all girls.
Yeah, are Carrot and Yamato. What about you guys? What are your most likely candidates?
Yeah, I think, here's the thing. I don't know how likely any of them are, but I think the most likely ones are, like you said, Carrot, Yamato, Vivi, and then I said Law. Law is... Yeah. I can't help but feel like there's still a very strong chance for him to end up on the crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of agree with this candidates in this.
Yeah, but that's all I really have to say for right now. Be sure to subscribe to the D Clan and the Voice of All Things. Also, don't forget to join the Discord server. And if you like to talk about One Piece, or if you like, One Piece content, or if you like our small One Piece content creator, just go down, take a look at the Discord server. We definitely need more people. And thanks for listening.
And join us next week where we go over number 9.
Right. The 9 Red Scabbards.
Our countdown to
Chapter 1000. All right. I'll see you guys later.